Part 4 show an important exercise where the participant must keep an interaction about the specific information. The participant or a partner interchange question and answer following instruction. No more teacher.
Okay, Karen, thank you. Guys, and you, did you watch the video?
Karin.
Sorry, Fanny, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, guys,
Okay.
and you, what happened? Did you watch the video? Oh,
Yes, teacher.
okay. So
I
Davidson,
mean,
wow.
teacher, I remember the last class was a topic of conversation, teacher. I remember that the videos. I remember
Yeah,
that
but
the two videos, uh, the uh, the was the more conversation, more words. I remember that was that. No, teacher, I am wrong.
well, the thing is, these two videos are very specific because part 3 and 4, those two parts are more difficult, and you need to use more vocabulary. Also, in those two videos, you see that the two candidates or the two people in the evaluation, they need to be prepared to interact, to ask questions to each other, like, so what do you think about the words that I use, or what is your opinion about the things that I said? So those two videos are very important, you know. And also, well, I want to say more things, but I still want to see if maybe Karen or maybe Lorena want to add more information to the things that we are saying. So, ladies, did you watch the videos? Do you have something to say about them?
Teacher, you
Oh,
can hear me?
yeah, I can.
Okay. In the first video, I observed with what happens for minutes, maybe around the introduction about other things with the partners. In the sound natural because when you listen to partner, always give reason. You speak about the common mistake. This is the understanding this video. In the second video, CAE observe two people talking about the different things in this video. Talk about the internet and other question about the personal information. This observed in these videos.
Okay, and do you have what is the difference for you from video 3 to video 4?
What is the difference?
Yeah, what is the difference?
In the first video, the teacher, I think maybe teacher teach different tips maybe for speaking. Yes. In the second video, maybe two peoples talk about the different things. This is the difference here.
Okay. So, Lorena? No? Okay. So, Lorena, can you hear us? Are you there? Okay. So, guys, I'm going to share the screen with you so I can show you what we have for tonight. Okay. So I'm going to show you the lesson plan. So give me a second. Okay. So as you can see on the screen, the topic we have for this class is related to speaking part of the CAE 3 and 4. So that's the reason why I was asking about those two videos, because that's what we are going to do tonight. So I watched the videos yesterday, and I also watched the videos tonight and this afternoon in order to have a better understanding of these parts, because they are very important. So I'm going to tell you what I believe, okay, about those two videos. So on video 3, and we are going to do it in some minutes. We are going to have two people, but we are going to use just 2 minutes per person. The first question is made by me, but after I ask the questions, or I ask the question to one of you two, I mean, because we are going to have two people participating, one of those two people is going to answer, and then when that person finishes, the person is going to ask the other one something like, hey, so what do you think? Or what is your opinion? Okay, and the other person is going to answer the same question. Once you two participate, I'm going to ask a final question, something like, well, a question that it's very similar to the first one, but it's a question made in order to see if you understand completely the topic. So that's for part 3. For part 4, we are going to use more minutes, maybe 5 minutes per student. So that's going to be harder, and we are going to use more vocabulary. And in that part, we are going to work in groups of 2 as well. And I'm going to start asking questions, okay? So in part 3 is just one question with a final conclusion. And in part 4, I'm going to ask more questions, maybe 2 or 3 questions. And also in part 4, when you are participating, you need to ask the other person, what does that person think about your opinion or the things you just mentioned. Okay, so I need you to give me a second, please. Hang on for a minute. I'm going to turn my microphone off for 5 seconds. Okay, please don't go. Okay, guys, I'm here again. So, as I told you in part 4, we are going to, well, you are going to listen to more questions. It's going to be 3 questions, but the important thing is for you, once you answer, to ask your friend or your partner something like, hey, what do you think? What is your opinion? What did you see in my words? So it's very important to interact. And if you watch video for part 4, the video on YouTube, maybe you would have seen that sometimes, for example, people do not answer correctly. So let's say something. Let's say that we have Luis and Jorge. And let's say that Jorge answers something like this. Well, in my opinion, the public transportation is very important because that way we don't contaminate, and we can also have a very cheap way of transportation. And then Jorge asks Luis something like, hey, Luis, what do you think about my opinion? And Luis in that moment says something like, well, in my opinion, bicycles are very important because bicycles are cheap. So the thing is, that's not the answer, because he's not asking about bicycles. He was talking about public transportation. So he was talking about buses. So it's very important to be concentrated in this part. So did you understand?
Yes, teacher.
All right. And for you guys?
More or less, teacher.
Okay, let's have an example. Maybe with an example we can do it, you know? So we're going to have an example on part 3. All right, so I need 2 people, 2 volunteers to have an example. Okay. So we have one, Oscar.
Always.
Yeah, always. Okay, one more to have the example. Okay, Fanny. Let's do it with you. So we have Fanny and we have Oscar, okay? This is just an example, okay? So we are going to practice, no more. Just practice. Okay, so listen, I'm going to show you a picture. Don't worry. Okay, so let me show you the picture. Okay, so we have that picture on the screen. Can you see the picture?
Yes.
Okay. Fanny, no problem? Okay, I hope there's not a problem. Okay, so we have a question, the central question, the main question is, how difficult might it be for people to make these hopes and dreams come true? That's the question. In other words, so you think it's difficult, it's very difficult for people maybe to buy a house, or maybe to get a car, or maybe to travel to the moon, or to become a sports star, or to visit a foreign country. So those are the options we have there, right? Buy a house, travel to the moon, get a car, become a sports star, and visit a foreign country. And the question is, do you think it's very difficult to do those things? Yes or not? And of course, why? So the question, for example, can start with something like, hey, so Oscar, so how difficult might it be for people to buy a house? Okay, Oscar, please answer that question.
Okay, yes. For example, in this moment with the Venezuelan people, they have different problems because in Venezuela, um, uh, if they can buy a house in their country, it's more difficult buy a house in Colombia, for example.
Okay, stop. So that was good, you know. Now, in this moment, Oscar needs to ask Fanny something like, so Fanny, what do you think?
Okay,
Or what's
Fanny.
your opinion?
Fanny, what do you think about my answer?
Okay, Fanny. Fanny, you need to turn your microphone on.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
In my opinion, in Colombia is good because the economy of the country is worse. And is the person are the no aren't working. For example, they but the Oscar opinion is important because in Venezuela is a difficult situation for the person more than Colombia.
Okay. So this is an example, right? This is just a participation to see how it works. So Fanny, maybe it would be good if you can turn your camera off because your internet connection is not working Very good. So that way you can you can have a faster internet connection. So maybe if you can turn your camera off, that can help, because the sound of your voice it comes and goes. Okay, now about Fanny's answer. So in this part of the exercise, it will be good to say something like, well, I think that your opinion, talking about Oscar's opinion, it's very important because he's right. In Venezuela, people have a lot of problems, and if they come to Colombia, they are going to have more problems to buy a house because they don't work here. And then in that moment, maybe Fanny could have said something like, okay, on the other hand, in Colombia, it's also difficult to buy a house because people are not working. And that could be a way of interaction between you two. All right? So that's my opinion about this moment. Okay, to finish this part, maybe I can ask something like, okay, guys, and which one of the 5 categories we have on the picture do you think it's more difficult for people? So,
Traveling to
Oscar,
the moon.
of course, traveling to the moon. Okay, Fanny,
I am
traveling
agree
to the
with
moon, all
Oscar
right. Okay, yeah, you're right. Traveling to the moon is the most difficult. Why?
because it isn't common in the world. The person is
Okay,
difficult traveling to the moon, not in a ship, in the house, for example. It's different to have a car or motorbike. Not in the person have a ship or to travel into the moon.
okay. And Oscar, why? What do you think it's more difficult?
Because there is a possibility of take a transport that we can arrive to the moon. The only way maybe we can smoke as something weird and and we can travel to the moon.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Okay, you're right. Okay, so, okay, I'm going to say this in Spanish just to be very clear about what we are going to do. But you did a good job, guys, you too. So,
Thank you.
muchachos, lo que queremos hacer en estos 2 ejercicios que vamos a compartir en el tiempo que queda es, en la parte 3, vienen preguntas que se basan en esa imagen que ustedes tienen ahí. Entonces, básicamente voy a escoger 2 parejas siempre, tanto para la parte 3 como para la parte 4, y les voy a lanzar la pregunta principal y voy a escoger una categoría para que ustedes respondan. Si estamos hablando en parejas, supongamos que estamos con Davidson y que estamos con Lorena, la primera persona que va a responder va a ser, por ejemplo, Lorena. Entonces ella da su respuesta. Y en ese momento la idea es que Lorena siempre le pregunte a la otra persona, en este caso Davidson, ¿qué opina? Acuérdense que no solamente existe la pregunta what do you think, hay muchas opciones. So, what is your point of view? What is your opinion? Do you think I'm okay? Do you think I am saying something correctly, or do you think I'm crazy? Hay
Are
muchas
you
opciones para
agree
hablar con
or
otra persona.
disagree?
Do you agree?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Ok. And una vez tengamos esa parte, entonces la otra persona va a dar su respuesta y ahí vamos a chequear no solamente si la persona es capaz de responder la pregunta que está en la pantalla, sino además de eso si es capaz de responderle a la otra persona que está participando y decir por qué está de acuerdo o no. En este ejercicio vamos a usar solamente 2 minutos, es decir, 4 minutos máximo. En el otro vamos a hacer algo muy parecido, pero no con una pregunta, sino con más. Es decir, que yo voy a ir soltando preguntas poco a poco. La idea es que entre ustedes siempre se pregunten el uno al otro qué opina, si está de acuerdo o no está de acuerdo, qué opinión le parece, qué cree de lo que la otra persona dijo, y voy a soltar más preguntas. Esta es en la parte 2. Es decir, para lo que vamos a hacer en la sección 4 del examen CAE o CAE. Y básicamente ese va a ser el ejercicio de hoy. ¿Listos? So, no problem?
No problem. Very clear.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so now we are going to start, okay? So, thank you, Oscar. Thank you, Fanny. That was very good. So we need to continue. So maybe Who wants to continue? We need two people.
Who start? Oscar or me?
No, 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 no.
Now you two, you participated, so it's
The
not a
question,
problem.
the first question is about is the instructor. Yes.
Yes, first question is mine. But
Who start?
you're
Panic,
not
Oscar.
we
going.
no panic. We are safe.
No, for this part, no more. You two, you
No.
participated. You did it well,
Él
so
dijo que
don't
él
worry.
empezaba la pregunta, pero que uno de los dos tenía.
No,
No,
continue
funny.
with the other partners.
Yeah.
You
So
and
this
me.
is
Ah, o sea, nosotros ya.
Yes, for this
Ah,
part.
ok.
okay. So let's continue. Davidson and Karen. Okay, ready?
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Davidson.
Okay, teacher, ready.
Okay, so here I go. So the question is for Lorena. Okay, Lorena, how
Yes,
difficult might it be for people to get a car?
yes, teacher. In my personal opinion, I think very difficult in the people in this economic situation. And for dreams and the growing activities in the world in the gobierno. I know there are not possibilities of war in the very situation money. I think this is the principal reason the people I don't going to the to grants. Davinson,
Yeah, Lorena.
I think about the how difficult make the people to make these hopes and dreams come true.
Okay, wait, stop. So Lorena, I understood what you mentioned about how difficult is it right now for Colombian people because of the economical situation. So that was okay. But what do you think? It's easy or it's difficult to get a car?
Yeah, Lorena, I share your ideas. In Colombia,
No,
it's
no, no,
very hard.
Davidson,
David,
sorry. Please stop.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Lorena, this question is for you. So it's easy or it's difficult to buy a car?
Yes, it's difficult.
Why? Lorena, why? Why is it difficult to buy a car?
Teacher, is in the conversation with Dyson?
No, this is a question for me, and this question is to you. Okay, this question is made by me, and I want you to tell me why is it difficult to buy a car?
Okay, it's difficult because the cost, the car is very cost, and the very muchos very problems to you in the banks in the wars. Uh, I think no, there are not money. The people, eh, como digo que no alcanza, pero sí, very little money.
Okay, now in this moment, Lorena, okay, please ask Davidson about his opinion.
Okay, Davison, I about seeing how difficult the people visit to foreign countries.
Yes,
Okay, but wait, Davidson, I'm sorry. Lorena, esto lo voy a decir en español. O sea, en este momento tú no le tienes que preguntar a él la pregunta que ya está ahí dentro del círculo. Lo que le tienes que preguntar es qué opina él acerca de lo que tú dijiste, porque estamos haciendo una conversación ya. Tú ya
Okay.
respondiste, dijiste que es difícil porque no hay dinero, ok, de acuerdo con eso. La situación económica es difícil, claro que sí. Ahora lo que necesito que hagas es que le preguntes a Davidson qué opina acerca de lo que tú dijiste para que él pueda responder y ver si él puso cuidado a lo que tú dijiste y lo entendió.
Okay.
Okay, so please,
Davidson,
let's do it.
Davidson, what do you think about the tariff? I understand.
yes, Lorena. I share all your ideas because I understand that in Colombia it's very hard to get all. The government don't help the people much power in the town. To get anything, a car is a prize, is a present to the family. Yes, it's a good dreams to get a car. But I share your ideas to to share that it is very hard get a car in this city in this Colombia.
Okay, thank you. Okay, guys, now I'm going to continue with Karen, okay? So, Karen, this is you and me. Ready?
Okay, ready.
Okay, guys, so can you please turn your microphones off for a minute? Just Karen and the teacher. Okay, thank you. Okay, Karen, so let's do it. So the question is the same question. We are going to talk about traveling to the moon. I'm going to answer first, and then I need you to please answer my question, okay? So here I go. Well, I think that traveling to the moon is almost impossible because nowadays the only options that you have if you want to travel to the moon are being a part of the USA government, maybe a scientist, or have a lot of money because if you are rich, you can go to the United States and pay for a ticket to go to the moon. So those are the only two options we have right now. Now, if you are a ordinary person and you have the minimum salary, you are not going to travel to the moon. So it's going to be impossible. That's my opinion. What do you think?
Um, well, um, I agree with your opinion because it's complicated traveling to the moon because studying much and know mathematics and other schedules maybe for know what is the strategy for live in the moon. Other idea is the low economic resource because you need more money for traveling to the movie and more capacitation for visit the NASA maybe and other option because you need more time and this is terrible because for example you have a family in any part in the world maybe United States and you need leave your family and travel for the moon and you forget the family because you in the moon 4 years or 5 years live in the moon and it's terrible because you come back for your house or you dead in the moon. This is my opinion. I don't know. What do you think about this?
Well, I believe that you have a point when you mention it that even if you have the money, you will have some problems like your family because you are not going to have your family there. And if you are going to be there for 5 or 3 years, that's going to be a lot of time. So that's very complicated. So, yes, I agree. Thank you. Okay, that was good. Okay, guys, now we are going to move for part five. Okay. So I'm going to share the screen with you. And in part 5, we are going to use more time. So we are going to use almost 5 minutes per pair. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult, all right? Okay, so let me show you what I have right now. Okay, so as you can see on the screen, we have part 4, and we have some questions. Okay, so I want you to check, please, the different words, the sentences, the questions, and let me know if you have questions about the words. Okay, please, 1 minute. Please check the words and tell me if you have questions. Okay, no questions, guys, about those different words?
No questions.
Okay.
Pues saqué 4 o 5 en el parcial.
Well, that was good, no? 4 or 5. Okay. Okay, guys. So in this moment, we are going to have an example. Okay. So, Oscar, no,
Why
this is just
me?
for the example. You and me. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And Fanny, please, I need you to read the first question. Okay, for Oscar and for me. Fanny,
The
turn your
microphone.
microphone on, please.
Okay.
Okay. Please read the question.
For Oscar,
No, for me.
in what ways can training change people's attitudes in days?
Okay. So training, it's a very good option for people to change their attitudes, because when people receive training, maybe in institutions like Sena, they have better knowledge, they have better tools in order to work, so they will feel more secure because they have information in their minds. That's my opinion. What do you think, Oscar?
Uh, I am disagree with your answer because I think the attitudes can be training. If you are a gossip person or a lazy person, it's really hard to change this mentality, this attitude.
Okay, maybe you are right. Yeah, that's very difficult. Yeah, you're right. Okay, Fanny, question 2.
Okay, number 2. Some people think that school does not train young people at the quality for the world of work today. Do you agree?
Okay, well, I agree. I agree. I have seen how many high schools, for example, in my city, in Ibagué, they are not preparing kids, the students, for the world of work, because they are studying the regular topics like mathematics and maybe history, but they are not learning about working, for example, in construction, or working in, let's say, something like the, what's the name of this, construction, maybe working with numbers like accountancy. So in my opinion, people or kids in high school, they need to be more prepared to go out and maybe have a job, because sometimes they can't go to the university, so they need more opportunities when they are in high school. What do you think, Oscar?
Hey, okay, your answer is really clear. I am agree. In today, the schools just teach math and Spanish, just topic, but the school isn't more away. For example, if you learn to add how to use this ad in your life, or if you learn I don't know, English, science, how do you use this learning in your life? Just um, just teach the basic, but don't teach how to use for our life.
Okay, I agree with you. Yeah, basically they are not teaching things that are useful, for life. Thank you, Oscar. Okay, thank you, Fanny. So, guys, this is the demonstration of what we are going to do now. Is just question, 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 and then one person answers, and that person asks the other person something like, "What do you think? What do you believe?" And then we continue. Okay. So, Oscar, thank you. That was perfect. And now we need two volunteers. All right. So, who wants to start? Not Oscar. Okay. So, Fanny, you want to start?
Not in teacher.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
What is the activity, teacher? I don't understand.
oh, don't worry. So basically, the activity is this: I asked the first question, and then you answer the question. And once you finish, you ask your friend something like, "What do you think about my opinion?" Or "What is your opinion?" Then the other person answers according to his or her opinion. So let's say that you are working with Lorena or maybe with Karen. So you two work together. I ask the question, Fanny answers, and then Fanny asks a question to Lorena, like, "What do you think?" Lorena answers the question, and then we continue with the next question. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to tell you in Spanish, okay, for everyone. So it's very easy. Lo que vamos a hacer es, ustedes trabajan en pareja, vamos a suponer que va a trabajar Davidson y Fanny. Yo hago la primera pregunta. Fanny responde y una vez Fanny responda, le va a preguntar a Davidson qué opina. Davidson va a tener que responder la misma pregunta, pero de acuerdo a lo que Fanny dijo. O sea que primero va a tener que estar de acuerdo o en desacuerdo y decir el por qué y finalmente responder lo que él opina. Una vez pasen esos dos momentos, vuelvo y arranco otra vez yo como profesor y hago la siguiente pregunta y ustedes vuelven y responden. ¿De acuerdo? Eso es todo. Okay, that's it. So that's what we are going to do right now. Okay, so we are going to start. So Fanny and let's say Karen, okay? Fanny and Karen, ready?
Okay, teacher, ready.
Okay, so
Don't
I'm
choose
going.
me.
No, Oscar. You stay there. Don't worry.
Okay.
Okay, so this question is for Karen. Karen, so which is more important to teach people? A sense of team spirit or individual initiative, and why?
Mm, individual, because I think the people develop new attitudes, the different perspectives, maybe in the life, in the work, with the friends, um, others' perspective around the world.
Okay, Karen.
What?
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Continue.
Okay. What do you think about my answer, Fanny?
That you or for you is more important. The is more important, or the spirit because the old person are associative individual
Hey, Fanny.
is very important.
Fanny,
Yes, teacher.
can you please turn your camera off to see if maybe the connection works better because it's very slow.
Yes, now understand all.
O sea, Fanny, que apagues la cámara para que de pronto la conexión mejore un poquito. Solamente escuchemos.
Okay, Fanny, so please answer again. Don't worry. Go ahead.
Are according to the
According to Karen's answer, yeah.
okay, teacher. Answer Karen is I am disagree. I am understanding that it's all about individual initiative is team spirit because the are associative individuals. We must learn to live positive.
Well, Fanny, the problem is your connection right now. It's very slow, so there are many interruptions when you are talking, so it's very difficult to understand.
Yes.
Um, I'm sorry.
Yeah, what happened? Do you have problems in your with your connection?
Voy a volver a ¿qué pasa?
Okay, it's okay. All right, so Davidson and Lorena, ready?
Read teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Okay, so this question is for Davidson, all right? So
All right,
Davidson,
teacher.
this is the question. How difficult is it for young people to find jobs nowadays in your country, and why?
To say the truth, I believe that in Colombia and this country is very hard that the young people to get good jobs because don't have much employments in this country. The young people don't have experience to work. Um, Only is with a person that recommended that people, that person to get a good work, a good job. I'm sorry. I believe this hard. I believe that for that is the people to get words different word in the street because don't get serious work, serious job, teacher. And I believe that is very hard in this country. Lorena,
David.
what is your opinion? Share my ideas.
Yes,
Why?
in this you are told is the truth. Is the people Jones have very problems in the convenience in the now in the working in the country because these parents um, and I need you 2, 3, 4, 5 the experience in years. It's very difficult. In the arch the working is the 30 is very easy, but the people jobs is very difficult. I am working.
Yeah, I believe that for that is the young stall all the time in the city, much insecurity.
Okay, guys, thank you.
Okay,
Okay,
you're
Fanny.
welcome, teacher.
So
For
you
me,
want to answer again, Fanny?
what teacher?
You want to answer again? Because the first time that you did it, we didn't understand because of the connection, but it seems like it's working better. So you want to answer again about Karen's answer?
My answer is disagree with Karen because for me team spirit because life in a world normally
Okay, well, I didn't understand clearly, you know, so maybe after this conversation, this encounter, you should check your connection because it's not working properly. So it's difficult to understand. So please do it, you know, before the next encounter and also before the collaborative work on debates you have this week. And this goes for everyone here. So during this week, you are going to have a collaborative work on debates. I guess you already chose on a schedule with one of the tutors available with or for the conversation you need to have this week. So you need to have a very good internet connection for this week, for Thursday or Friday or Saturdays. I don't know what day did you choose, but please check that part because that's going to be 80 points if I'm not wrong for your final score on this course. So please do it, guys. Are you ready for that debate? That's going to be this week. Did you choose a tutor? Did you choose a teacher?
It's clear.
Okay, guys. So it seems like the internet connection didn't work well for some of us, and it seems like the the different directions that I gave were not clear for you. Well, for some of you in this activity. So I hope we can do it better next time. Maybe I can start using some Spanish for some of you to be already prepared for this, so we can do a better job. Some suggestion. So Fanny, please check your internet connection for the next time. And guys, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to see you tonight. So I'm going to continue with the next group and be prepared for your collaborative work on debates, which is going to be this week. Okay. So thank you so much for coming
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
and have a good night, guys.
Thank you,
Okay,
teacher.
goodbye, teacher.
Goodbye.